My name is Will Rogers. I am in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm 35 years old. I know Boyon through the fact that Boyon got this nursing award.
My name is Boyon. I am a nurse practitioner at Swedish in Seattle, Washington.
And what was it like to go into the COVID-19 pandemic last year as a primary care NP in Seattle?
I think it was a very interesting experience. When COVID started, I was in a unique position because my parents actually live in South Korea. They are professors there. When COVID-19 first started, South Korea was hit particularly hard early on. I felt like I had a little bit more of an insight of what was going on or how things were being handled before it hit the US. My mother being a professor, I think that also gave me a little more insight because of how the university was dealing with it there and the healthcare officials. When COVID-19 hit here in March, my clinic administrator, who is a good friend of mine, Erin Murillo, was tasked with coming up with disaster clinics. That's how Swedish initially had decided to deal with the pandemic. And I told her what I thought should happen based on what I was seeing in South Korea. I felt particularly passionate about it because I felt like we weren't doing enough, not soon enough. We didn't have the right resources. And I also felt like we weren't as alarmed as we should have been. So Erin decided that I would be the perfect person to help her out since she was already tasked with the disaster clinics. The first clinic that we opened was the Swedish Issaquah Community Response Clinic, where we offered drive-through COVID-19 testing.
Was that an idea that you heard from your mom?
Yes, the drive-through testing, it's not like we invented it at all. My mother connected me with one of the public health officials there to find out what their process was and how they were performing the tests. I was able to use that information to start our clinic.
Was that in English or in Korean?
My conversation with the official was in Korean. I do speak Korean. It was a really exciting time. It felt like I was part of something really big and something that was moving fast, constantly changing. And we didn't really know if we were doing the right thing. I don't think any of us knew. But at least we had something, a model to sort of work off of. I feel fortunate that I had access to some of that information and that I was in the right place and the right time to be heard and to be used.
Take us forward a little bit into the winter surge. What was it like going into November and December for you?
It was difficult because I was going through a lot in my personal life as well. After I had gotten my MSN at Seattle University, I decided I wanted to get my doctorate. I went back to school in 2019. And so when the pandemic hit, I was sort of in the middle, in the thick of my doctoral program. I have a 3-year-old toddler at home. With my husband, I felt like I wasn't really able to be the wife, the mother, the student that I would have wanted to be because I was being pulled in so many directions. And I think that was the most difficult part, trying to make sure that I was fully present for my family. I still feel like I wasn't.
Can you take me to any counter examples of times when you were able to be present? You know, even if in the course of the whole year, you might not have been as present as you wanted to be or expected yourself to be. What did it look like in the glimpses when you were able to be present?
I think the guilt from not being able to be with my family as much because I was so involved in my work or my studies, I think that's something that's hard to get over, especially as a mother of a toddler. Whenever I would come back from work, I would come home and the couple hours I would have with my son would be so precious and so sacred to me because that was the only time I could really see him before he went to bed. My favorite part of the day is putting him to sleep because we get to have alone time and cuddle and just really be with each other. During the pandemic, I developed a bad habit. I shouldn't admit this when I'm being recorded. I would crawl into his crib with him just so that I could cuddle and snuggle and smell him and hold his hand a little before he would go to sleep. I remember I would stay there for 10, 20 minutes and we would sing together, read books, and I would try to get up to leave and gently lift my head. And my son Oliver, he would put his warm little hand on my face, on my cheek, and push it down and say, "Mommy, stay 2 more minutes." And that was so special to me to be able to have that. I would say I feel bad because being there in his crib for 10, 20 minutes really doesn't make up for the many hours that I've been away from him. So I don't know why I'm feeling so emotional about it. I would say that made up for a lot, just being able to be with him.